Hi, my name is Ali Ghasemi, and welcome to the presentation of our work Enhancing Ground-to-Aerial Image Matching for Visual Misinformation Detection using Semantic Segmentation. This work was done by Emanuele Mule, Matteo Panacci, and myself, in collaboration with the Alcor Lab at Sapienza University of Rome under the guidance of Professor Irene Amerini. I'll start with an introduction to the problem, its challenges, and its relevance to visual misinformation detection. Then I'll cover related works, explain our proposed method, and finally share the experimental results and conclusions. The problem of ground-to-aerial image matching is an image retrieval task where, given a query ground view image, we want to determine the corresponding satellite view image within a collection of possible matches without relying on GPS information or metadata. In this figure, we show an example of matching, where the ground view image serves as a query and we report the best 5 matches according to a similarity score. There are many possible challenges to consider when developing a solution for this task, such as the perspective discrepancies between the two viewpoints or differences in landscape features caused by the season or the period the images were taken. Here we show an example from our dataset, illustrating the significant difference between the two perspectives for the same location. The orientation and approximate position of the camera for the ground view is highlighted in red on the satellite image. The increasing effectiveness of generative AI has led to a surge in altered images and videos, often used to spread misinformation, including altered satellite images employed to mislead public opinion. Our work fits into this context by providing a tool that can assist in journalism, forensic analysis, and Earth observation by reconstructing the location of non-geotagged content, thus helping in verifying the authenticity of images. A simple idea of a use case could be a system to determine whether a ground-level image submitted by a user to an online street view platform and linked to a specific location truly corresponds to that location. Many works have previously tackled this task, historically starting with handcrafted features for representing the images. With the increase in usage of deep learning, many alternative approaches emerged. Among them, Siamese-like networks have helped in extracting viewpoint invariant features from the ground and aerial images, while more recently, vision transformers have proved to be effective in providing a global representation of the input images through the usage of attention layers. Furthermore, generative models such as GANs were employed to provide an intermediate representation able to mitigate the discrepancy between the two viewpoints. Here we illustrate our proposed method, SANQuad, a novel 4-stream Siamese-like architecture that extends the work of Shi et al. And Pro et al. By integrating the semantic segmentation masks for both ground and satellite images into the RGB input images, thus producing more effective latent feature representations. We highlight the main components of the method's pipeline. First, we generate the semantic segmentation masks and apply a visual transformation to the satellite images. Next, we extract features by passing the obtained input images through convolutional neural networks. Then, we combine the features obtained from the different inputs of the same viewpoint into a single complete representation. And at last, we use these representations for the matching and computing the loss used in the training phase. The dataset employed for the task is an 8,000 sample subset of the CDUSA dataset, enriched with additional images of the satellite and ground view semantic segmentation masks. The satellite semantic segmentation was provided by a previous work employing the NEOS model, trained in an unsupervised way to distinguish between 6 classes on each image. Instead, the ground view semantic segmentation masks were built by us using the pre-trained mask-to-former model adapted to capture significant classes for the task. Each RGB and semantic segmentation satellite image is first transformed using a polar transformation, which maps the coordinates of pixels in the original image onto a projection of a sphere. In this way, we introduce an azimuth angle that helps reduce the aforementioned viewpoint discrepancy between the two domains. For the feature extraction, we employ a Siamese-like network composed of 4 VGG16 branches without weight sharing, each extracting features from a different category of input images. In order to obtain a spatially aware image feature representation, we remove the last fully connected layers of the architecture and replace them with additional convolutional layers. In this way, the final representation obtained keeps an image-like structure with multiple output channels. Specifically, we employ the same width and height of the final feature representation used by Shi et al., which are respectively 64 and 4 for the 360-degree field of view case, in order to ensure a fair comparison. Then we combine the representations extracted from the RGB and semantic segmentation masks of the same viewpoint with a novel feature sharing strategy. This combination strategy consists of summing feature maps from segmentation masks with corresponding RGB maps while keeping other RGB channels unchanged. This enables interaction between semantic and visual features, thus enhancing the discriminative capacity of the model. More in detail, for both viewpoints, we use 16 and 8 as the number of channels for the RGB and semantic segmentation representations, respectively. This results in a combined feature representation of 16 channels, as in Shi et al. Thanks to the polar transformation done earlier, it is possible to compute a correlation score between the ground and satellite images as the dot product of their respective feature representations. Since the representations are spatially aware and the relative azimuth angle between the two viewpoints is unknown, to correctly compute the correlation between each pair of ground and aerial images, we need to test all possible relative orientations between them. We do so using a sliding window approach, shifting the ground view feature representation along its horizontal axis, which represents the azimuth angle, and computing its correlation score with the fixed satellite feature representation. The angle which obtains the highest correlation for a certain pair is considered the optimal relative azimuth angle for that pair. Finally, the satellite image obtaining the highest correlation score for a certain query ground image is considered its correct match. The loss used for training is a weighted soft margin triplet loss, using the correlation with the previously computed optimal azimuth angles for both negative and positive samples. We compute this loss in both directions, first using the ground images and then the satellite images as queries, because as proven in previous works, it resulted in the models learning better feature representations for both viewpoints. Here we present the complete table of comparison between our model and previous works. Both trained and tested on different fields of view, we can see that our method achieves superior performance in almost all cases, obtaining an improvement compared to Shi et al. Of 9.8% on the rank at 1 metric. This metric is the most relevant one for the task, as it denotes the percentage of queries where the correct match is the one with the highest score within the whole collection of possible matches, thus being the one selected as the predicted match by the model. Here we highlight the most significant results from the previous table. Our method performs significantly better than the others when trained on higher FOVs, especially when evaluated on lower ones. This denotes its higher ability to generalize provided by the additional contextual information obtained using the semantic segmentation masks and the novel feature sharing combination strategy. We performed some ablation studies to further analyze our results by training our model with different implementation choices. We first investigate the impact of the additional features on the performance. We tried using only 2 or 3 branches of our architecture, removing the semantic segmentation masks. We can see that increasing the number of features corresponds to an improvement of the results. In particular, the ground view semantic segmentation proved to be more effective than the satellite one. Then, we study the effectiveness of our combination strategy by comparing the performances of identical models employing our strategy against the simple concatenation employed in previous works. The results show that our approach achieves consistently better performances. Finally, we investigate the effect of adding an additional branch with a new feature to our architecture, consisting of a depth map of the ground view image. As can be noted from the results, this idea proved to be less effective with our architecture and led to lower performances. This could be due to the employment of a late fusion combination strategy. We believe adopting an early fusion approach for feature combinations could result in better performances for this new feature. In conclusion, our work introduces SAN-Quad, a novel architecture for ground-to-aerial image matching. By integrating semantic segmentation and introducing a novel feature combination strategy, we achieved higher performance compared to previous works on the employed CVUSA subset and robust generalization across various FOVs, demonstrating the effectiveness of the approach which can be applied and extended to tackle different problems in the visual misinformation detection field. Looking ahead, we aim to integrate additional features, explore new combination strategies, and, in particular, the mentioned idea of an early fusion approach. Moreover, we plan on training and evaluating our models on a larger version of CVUSA and testing them on different datasets. Thank you for your attention. For further information or any questions, please reach out via the provided contact details. We look forward to your questions and feedback.